Hello,
Hello, hat guy.
hat
This is new.
guy.
This is so new. I've never seen this in my life.
So look at how cool this hat is, but it's got a fatal flaw. First of
Okay.
all, I like to wear hats backwards in general, but this is a
Okay.
cool, potentially forward hat.
Uh-huh. Very cool.
Okay, okay. But see, it's got see this. What is this?
It's
What
bad
is this?
shape. Yeah. That's
What
it.
is
That's a
this?
hipster doofus shape.
Whose weirdo head fits in here to fill
Nope,
this hat out?
nobody. It doesn't
Nobody
fit
has a
anybody's
head.
head, but that's a very hipster
See, I'd
shape.
have
Yeah, I
to
don't
have
like it.
little horns or something there to like
No.
make that work. I got this hat for
Is that the
free, so I
chrome? Is that the chrome offline
yes.
dinosaur?
Look at this guy who works on the internet. Look at
I
this
live
internet
here,
guy.
man. That is amazing.
He
Where
could
did you
have
get
be on
that?
no sleep. It doesn't matter. He's
Doesn't
still sharp as
matter.
a tack.
Where
So
did you get it?
Google emailed me and they're like, "Yo, you got like $40 in Google Play Store credits or something." I don't have an Android. I don't have anything to do. I know Google stuff. What am I gonna do with this $40, right? So I go on their site thing in the little store, and they got this hat. So I'm like, I'll buy
That's
the hat
cool.
for $38, whatever
It's
crazy amount this
cool.
hat is. But I don't like these little things. So anyway, it's going backwards. I like it backwards. It fits nice. It's got a pretty nice backwards look.
It's got a good backwards look, and it has the
Uh,
the blue, the pop of color on the
yeah, on the
adjuster there,
front
the
there.
strap. It's
I
very
don't like
cool.
how the hat. See, I don't like how this is going backwards. Ah, man, I don't like that
Oh
either.
man.
I fucked it up. I don't like this either. I have to go no hat. I might have to put my Taylor Swift hat on. I got my Taylor Swift hat over here. See, that's the last time you saw me
Well,
in a hat.
the good news is this. I feel like this is mostly an audio experience, so I don't think it matters
There we
much.
go.
Okay, that's gonna
Something.
distract me.
All
I
right.
can't handle the
Go
sequins
back to the
hat.
dinosaur. Let's go back to the
Yeah.
dinosaur. All right. All right. There we go. I'm
All
going to use
right,
it
there
this
we
way.
go.
All right. So, big week.
Big week, boy.
Big
What a
week.
week! What a week!
What you
Got a
got?
lot. We got a lot to cover. Ask me some questions. Where do we want to start?
All right. So, you had a day delay, if I
Had a
recall,
day
but you
delay.
launched on Friday.
Yep.
So, what? We're here. Give us the behind the scenes. Why was there a
Yep.
day delay? Wow.
So there was a day delay because we were finishing the website, and I thought, yeah, we need like 15 minutes to build a whole, learning platform.
Okay.
And it was close, but we needed a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
the plan was to launch on Wednesday. Nope, the plan was to launch on Thursday. And Wednesday night rolls around and it's like 8:30 or 9 and I'm, sitting at the kitchen table working and Steve calls and he's like, "Hey man, are we going to finish this tonight?" I was like, it sure isn't feeling like we're going to finish this tonight.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why don't we just launch on Friday then?" It's like, "Well, that's actually a pretty good idea."
Yeah.
So, ideally we would have launched on a Tuesday or something, but
Right. That's the playbook.
that stuff happens and we launched
Yeah.
anyway. And
It's
so
fine.
so we decided to punt. So then we worked on it all day Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Hysterical thinking we thought we were going to finish on Wednesday night. So I worked on it all day on Thursday. Steve is working on the front end. He's doing a bunch of stuff too. And then Thursday night, Jennifer and I had like a dinner party that we went to. So I went to this dinner.
Why not?
And then
Okay.
yeah, and then at like 9:30 I came back to the office and was like, "Great, just got to
Oh my
finish up."
goodness.
Went home at 3:30 that morning. So I stayed up all night Thursday
Oh
night
boy.
and came back up here on Friday morning and started live streaming, which I think we got to talk about this. Great hack. Great hack.
When you've been
And
up
then
all
we
night, that's what I
had been up all
recommend. Just
night.
right onto the live
Yeah.
stream.
Just give you that energy. So then, Friday morning, I don't know, around 10:30, 11 Central, something like that, we launched, and it started working. So we'll stop there, and we can dive in on any of the details.
Yeah. So, whoa, there's a lot right there. But yeah, I mean, you definitely made the right call because there's nothing, I mean, especially with a course where like you're hoping this course lasts a long time and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but still there's going to be a big day one, most likely. There's a lot of pent up demand. You hate to have that be like everybody gets a bunch of errors and they can't actually buy. And
Yep.
what percentage of those people just never come back or whatever. So you gotta make sure it at least works on some basic level. So good job hunting. I think one day seems totally reasonable. I don't know about the dinner party situation. Seems like a bad call. I don't know if I do a dinner party either the day before I launch or apparently planned for the day of the launch.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be, the day of launch, and then we go out to dinner with friends, and it's like, oh, that was nice. What a great day. But really hoisted by my own petard there.
Although on the flip side, you were working all day. There is a point of diminishing returns there where like the break, even if then you're going to have a long night, like there is a value in that break versus just being like, I'm going to work 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. and straight through. And that doesn't always work.
That wasn't going to work.
So,
yeah.
So it kind of probably worked out for the best, actually. So, all right. So that's all good. I mean, I think, Steve's end, we don't talk a lot about Steve's end on here, but I mean, obviously incredible job to produce this many videos in that period of time. Sure, a lot of them didn't all need animation and crazy stuff, but still, like, that's a lot of videos to make sure that everything's right and all that. So
especially when we're doing dark and light mode videos.
You guys are fucking crazy. Let's just start right there. It's just, we don't curse a lot in the show, but I think this is an appropriate one. Somebody tweeted this. I was like, what are they talking about? This is obviously can't be correct. And then, no, apparently it is correct. When you go to dark mode, you get dark slides on your crazy videos. And I don't even know what you're thinking. That's bizarre. And
Isn't it great? Isn't it great?
I guess. How did you
It's great.
I didn't have a chance to look deeply into this. So did you he puts in this after, or you had this up and you're doing it twice?
So we planned ahead a little bit with the color schemes. So a lot of the work is just done in Terminal, which is black and white, so that's nice. But the work that's done in Table Plus, Steve, before I recorded anything, Steve gave me a custom color scheme that would look pretty good inverted. And so he renders every video twice, and so it's not just like a CSS rotation filter or something. So all his animations, all the graphics, and all the screen work is rendered twice over or I guess under the same talking head. So I didn't have to record everything twice, but he had a little script, and he did stuff where you can invert it, and then certain colors in Final Cut Pro you can pick and rotate the hue. So if something inverted weird, he would change it. But
he basically green screened it, sort of.
Kind of. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm separated from the footage all the time, and so he could leave my camera alone and just muck around with the screen, which is a lot. It's just a lot simpler.
Yeah. Wow.
Good touch, right?
So that was, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Nobody's ever done it. It makes no sense. Why would you do that?
It's completely bizarre. But I guess I like it. It makes some kind of bizarro world sense. Marketing wise, I like it. I don't know now. Do you have to keep it up forever? What are your thoughts there?
Who knows? But it's a great shtick. It's a great shtick. I think
especially for a dev thing.
Yeah, it aligns well with the Try Hard brand, and it's one of those things that's remarkable. So when you first do it and you see it, that's something where you would go to Twitter and remark on it, and that's a good thing.
I love remarkability. I've never honestly had a product with great remarkability, but it's always something I want to have. It's so hard to come up with that. Especially B2B is extra hard, but for something like this where it's having a little remarkability is so good. And I don't know, you read The Purple Cow? You must have read The Purple Cow.
Have I read it, or has it been just soaked into my brain? I don't know, but I know. Yeah, you got to have a purple cow. It's all there in the title. Yeah.
I got a big hanging across from my office in my house. I have a gigantic sort of print of the cover that he did way back in the day.
That's cool.
And it's signed by him.
Whoa.
And it's only it's signed and numbered. So I don't know. It's whatever. He did 100 of them or whatever.
Cool.
I've got one. So
all these years you've had the print and not found your own purple cow.
I know.
Man,
we're gonna do something with it.
We'll get there. We'll find you one.
I know. I have a few ideas on this. I'm working on a new HelpSpot website, and I might utilize some of it there. But it's still not the same as in the product in its core. Right. There's just some crazy shit that people are gonna talk about. So
yep.
All right. So let's not get off track here. So
okay.
All right, so it's you are up basically all night.
all
You
night.
come in, you're like, hey, let's live stream. Why not? So
Why
you
not?
throw on the live stream, you deal with
Yep.
technical difficulties, whatever
Yep.
other BS is going
Classic.
on. And all right, so how'd the live stream go? I watched a good chunk of it. I watched
The
through
live
launch, I think.
the live stream was great. I think it's an ultimate, it's like a hack for sure,
Yeah.
because you go live on Twitter and Twitter like blasts it in everyone's face.
It's over the top now, yeah.
All over the UI. It's like, hey, by the way, you can't get around.
Live.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Click this button, he's live right now.
And you cannot, like, if everyone laments the death of reach on Twitter, then you got to live stream, because that's ultimate 100% reach. Everyone's going to get shown it multiple times.
What they want you to do, yes.
Yes, exactly. So I went live on Twitter, the first 30 seconds, it was like, hey, your microphone's blowing out our ears. And I was like, okay, well, we'll start over. So I went live on Twitter a second time, and that time it worked. And yeah, I was really just like literally working through the details of launching. I'm writing this launch email. I'm like deploying stuff. I'm talking to Steve on the phone. I'm like, wait, what's going on? What have we messed up?
It was very cool. Yeah.
I felt like it was fun. Like, it's a fun.
It was.
I had never seen that kind of content before, and I, if I could have watched Adam Wathan and Steve launch something, like, I would have watched that for sure. So I thought, hey, let's give it a go. And you know what? I think it was a great idea. The numbers, all the numbers are made up on Twitter, and they don't really mean anything, but they're directionally correct. And so, bigger number is better. And I think the live stream has like 100,000 views at this point, which means,
wow,
really? I don't know what it means. Yeah.
Right. But even if it's 50,000 in real life, or
even
10,000 or whatever, it's 10,000 more than you had before, right? Like, it was it's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
no,
so let me see if I can find
it.
Yeah. So 101.3 thousand views according to Twitter, which, the tweet itself has 300,000 views. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
So that was good. It was fun. A lot of interaction. A lot of people being like, hey, don't forget this, or why don't you change this email to say that? Dave Hicking came in with a great, he was like, if you say bury the lead, it sounds negative. And I was like, that's a good point, Dave. And so I took out buried the lead. So that was helpful. Thanks, Dave. Producer Dave.
Yeah, I feel like the sort of peanut gallery had some good commentary. Like, actually helped you out, caught some things.
Yep. Jason Beggs was the one that knew that what was it? Queue workers weren't running because we were in maintenance mode. So So that was good. He came in
that's
with
a tricky one to figure out too. Yeah.
Yeah. I just never ever used maintenance mode.
Right.
I've just literally never used it in my life.
Does, right?
Yeah. And so I'm like, I have no idea what could go wrong here. So that was helpful. And then another happy side effect, I think, is when I put out the launch tweet, like the proper, hey, it's live, go get it. Everyone on stream interacted with that tweet, and because they were like into the story now, and so they find the new tweet and they go comment or retweet, and that worked really, really well, I think.
Yeah, especially nowadays where it seems like the algorithms of all these social sites are big on the like, and within the first who knows how long minute or 5 minutes or whatever, like they're gonna weight you more heavily if you get a bunch of likes in that time period. So you have a little army of people you can just send off to like it right away is definitely advantageous.
Yeah, so that worked out awesome. Then the stream had kind of an ignominious end. My microphone quit working. Actually, my microphone works. It's OBS. OBS sucks. And so I was just not audible for the last 3 minutes, and then I was like, well, guess I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the 2 hours. I'm just gonna sign off now. That part. Right. So that's kind of a bummer, but
that's probably better. You had other stuff to do.
Yeah, I had to just freaking rest after all that. So yeah, that part went great. The stream was a huge hack, and I'm definitely gonna do that again.
Yeah, and I think it was really cool because it was definitely like sincere, as is your style always anyway. But it was very clear you wouldn't like, well, let's have a problem, and or the like, or the other side of like, all okay, we're gonna do the launch stream, everything's set, you're just there to like literally push the button. Like I think having some stuff to do, yeah, it just made it way more interesting, obviously, than if it's just like, okay, we're pushing the button, everybody, yay, we pushed the button.
Yeah, let's push the button
there
and count my money. Like that's not
right.
that's not very interesting.
Yeah. So no, the stream was awesome. I wasn't expecting that, so that was really cool. Okay, so you pushed the button.
Push the button.
You had, well, maybe we should talk about this because you had the mailing list, and
Yes.
so there was some drama of sorts around how quickly to email the list, and Bento's kind of telling you what to do, and then behind the scenes other people are telling you what to do or whatever. So give us the mailing list rundown, I guess.
Yeah, so I use Bento for my email, for all of my emails. Love it. It's great. Founder's super responsive. And so, I've got a list of, I forget what it was, like 5,000, 5,200 people on this SQLite list. The last email I sent was about DHH. So it was maybe, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Too long.
And too few. So when I sent it, there were like 2,200 people on the list.
So some bunch of people I've never gotten an email from you before. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I really needed to do, and let this be a comfort to people who think that people on the internet have everything figured out. I freaking didn't have everything figured out. What I really needed to do was send an email to the entire list like a week ahead of time.
Right.
Maybe 2 or 3 emails.
I think so.
Just so that like Gmail understands, one, this domain, High Performance SQLite, sends emails, and 2, people like that, and they don't mark it spam. They read it. Like this is a good thing.
Right.
And so, Bento has this UI help text that's like, hey, we recommend sending, this many emails per hour to a list this size. And I cheated a little bit. I bumped it up a little bit.
It was pretty low. It would have taken you like 2 days or something to send it. Or
exactly.
It was
And so I was like, let's spread it out over, I think I chose 6 or 7 hours, which is still less than ideal. Ideally, I would have had the site ready at midnight, and I could have started email sending at 4 a.m. and by 11 everybody has their emails, but I didn't.
But then you wouldn't have done the stream. So actually,
then I wouldn't have done the stream.
Well, it would have been different anyway. It would have been a different type of thing. So yeah, I think that's fine. So Gmail shut you down for a little bit.
Gmail shut us down for a little bit. And very helpful people have been saying like, oh, you should switch to Postmark. And it's like, okay, thank you. That's very helpful. However, that is not what I'm talking about whatsoever. Like Gmail has limited our domain for 24 hours, regardless of who I use.
It's not the provider.
Could use anybody. And of course, behind the scenes, the founder of Bento's DMing me, and he's like, hey, here's what I'm seeing. Yes, I'm seeing the soft rate limit. Here's when it will be lifted. Here's what you should do. And it's like, great, that's really helpful. And he helped me switch over to a different domain. So I sent a few emails from the aaronfrancis.com domain after that, because that was, it's been around for 15 years. So that was kind of a bummer, because a few launch emails like bounced around no man's land for a little bit. Everything eventually got retried. Gmail didn't block us. They were just like, hang on a second. But the real bummer is we had this auth flow where like you could check out without being logged in, which I think is pretty important. And then when you get back to, you're redirected to Lemon Squeezy, you process the order, and then you get back to our domain. And what we do then is, if you're not logged in, we instantly create an account based on the email that you provided to Lemon Squeezy. And then we say, great, you have an account, you're already logged in, so begin watching. And also we've sent a reset email, or basically like a claim your account email that you can use to set your password. And of course, those were the ones that like people were like, hey, that's not true. This isn't coming through. Like, shit, dang it. So
got a little fancy there,
Yeah, and it would have worked great if we hadn't hosed our deliverability on accident. I guess accidentally is the correct way to say that. So that was kind of a bummer, but I think I think it worked out fine. I ended up just like, people sent emails to support, and our support also got rate limited because we can't send outbound emails from the domain. So we're kind of like, we're kind of hosed there for a minute. But then we just freaking dealt with it, and it was fine. And I think it was only Gmail and only people that like bought when they were not logged in, and so it's a pretty small amount, but it was
Yeah.
still kind of harrowing / super frustrating.
Yeah. Oh boy. What do you think about? I know friend of the show, Adam Waffen, was kind of talking at one point about just having a single domain, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like, the company domain or whatever you want to do, but like this
Mhm.
way you don't have to set it up
Warm
each
up a
time. And next
Postgres
time you're probably
domain.
gonna have a bigger list, right? So next
I
time if you have
know.
20,000 people on the list, you might still get soft limited because they'll be like, well,
I
now they're trying to
know.
send it to 20,000 people, and last time they only sent to 5,000. That's a big change or whatever. Like, so there's other
Yeah.
potential weirdness in there. Plus, a lot of domains, man. It's like you're planning on doing a number of these courses. It's like if
Yeah, I love
everyone has its own
domains.
domain, its own
Gotta have a big
infrastructure, it's
collection. Yeah.
kind of a lot
Just
of junk.
just
Well,
want an
yeah,
empire.
domains. I'm all about collecting domains, but like,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love it.
I actually have a domain story too we can talk about, but we'll
I
save
love a
that for a
domain
second.
story.
Yeah, I
Let's
got a
talk
domain
about what
story.
Adam said though.
Yes. So what do you
So
think there?
Adam was like, "Hey, you shouldn't ever send emails from that domain." And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know.
You're not buying it?
I mean, I'm not buying it. I understand.
Mm,
I think technically, what do I think? I think if I'm a user, I want to get emails from highperformancesqlite.com, not from Tryhard Studios, because who are they? That's
yeah.
kind of my first gut reaction. It's like, I don't know Tryhard Studios. Why do I talk to them? Now, provided we get something like Database School, that's a little bit closer.
Right. I thought at one point you were talking about doing more of an overarching brand for
Yes,
these courses.
for sure. We are and we
Yeah.
will. And at that point, I'd be curious actually what domains Wes Boss sends emails from for his
Yeah.
various courses, because he has a lot of standalone sites as well. Like each course is kind of its own mini brand. And I
Right.
wonder if he sends, so there's some sort of combination of marketing emails, transactional emails, and no emails. And which of those three does he do? Marketing plus transactional, or does he send marketing from his West Boss domain and transactional from the course domain? So I'll need to do some research there. But
Yeah. I would be
yeah, I don't
surprised if he
know.
used different domains for each, but
To send
possible.
emails?
Yeah, I would think that he has a centralized domain.
What are your, so on the back end, everything dumps into one bento account.
Right.
And so it's
Yeah.
not like I'm managing, 6 MailChimp instances and
Yeah.
ne'er the twain shall meet. Like everyone goes into one pool and they get
Right.
tagged with certain things. And so like I'm happy about that. So what are your what do you think about this domain situation?
I mean, I think, to me, the issue is that you're sending bulk email, which is already like, a little bit of a negative, right, compared
Right.
to a transactional email. And then you're always going to have a new domain. So like you're always going to be in the worst spot. So I don't know. I just feel like I think I would go with one domain, because I think like even if you lose a small percentage of it because it's always new domains, like that's still a small percent. Like 5% of the emails don't get seen
Sure.
because you're not on a more established domain. Like that's still kind of significant. And then also if you do like 6 of these, that's like just a lot of like sort of annoying stuff to set
Admin
up
overhead.
and configure and make sure it's all right and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd probably use one, but I don't know. I mean, because you can always change the personal name part to address your other concern, right? Like it could be from, I mean, it depends how you want to run that, but like you can, there's other ways to deal with that. I think you can also even, like there's some trickery you can do with like the reply to email so that you're sending from the main email, but the reply to is the more direct domain. And then like you could do some just like forwarding and stuff. But so I believe what would count for your reputation is the from domain. Although you definitely want to check that. So there are some shenanigans there, but I don't know. I think building up the sort of value and the trust of one domain seems good.
It does seem good. That part is compelling to me. That does seem good. But I don't know. If we end up moving all of these courses under one domain, then that makes it easy. Like
Then
that's
it's really
the
easy. Yeah.
easy answer.
Yeah.
If we continue to have separate properties per course, that's
I
more of
do
an open
think
question.
I don't love, I guess, on the flip side, kind of, I think to your point is I don't love Try Hard Studios as the main domain in
Yeah,
that
same.
scenario, I guess.
Makes
Yeah.
no
So
sense.
yeah, it's kind of a weird. Nobody's gonna
It's a
probably
good
know
domain though,
that.
right? It's a great company
It's a
name.
good
Yeah,
company
you have to
name. It's a
admit.
good
Yeah,
domain
there you
name.
go.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
thank you.
that. But
Appreciate
like,
that. Okay. But it's not associated with SQLite in any way, shape, or form.
yeah, like that part's a little weird, possibly. So I guess you just have to see if you end up going with the overarching brand, which
Mm-hmm.
seems like a good idea, I think, overall, because then you can build up
I
that
think
even
so.
outside of email, you get like that credibility and like
I think
you're just doing
so.
like what Wes Boss has done, but he uses himself. Like you're gonna
Right.
use this other thing, entity. I mean, there's still even. I don't think it's a horrible idea to go the West Boss route completely either. I mean, it could just be Aaron Francis and everything's Aaron
Just build it
Francis and
all
Aaron
around
Francis
me,
domain. Just build it all around you. And I mean, that's probably honestly the best. If you want to just straight maximize dollars, I
which
think
I do.
Aaron Francis is probably the best way to go about it because they're finding these products through you, through your name, your Twitter account, your YouTube, whatever. Like it's all consistent. The email comes from aaronfrancis.com. Everything's Aaron Francis. Like obviously whatever, it's Try Hard Studios Inc. Blah blah blah. But like that's my gut reaction is having it all be you is the optimal. But it's kind of weird when you're in business with a partner and all that stuff. Do we want it to just be aaronfrancis.com and everything? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
Steve and I have talked about that a lot, and I'm always like, "Oh man, Steve, we got to get you out there more." And he's like, "Oh man, Aaron, I don't want to be out there more." So I don't think that would
yeah.
I don't think that would
Yeah.
matter. I think one, I feel, man, I feel like maybe that sparks in me some sort of like vanity, or like you need to be more uh, humble about
Right.
this, like. But I also wonder, if that is like thinking small. Like, does it have more
Mm.
gravitas if a stranger lands on, aaronfrancis.com/SQLite or SQLite, high performance SQLite.com? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I don't think like the product domains. I'm not saying that like how Wes does it, where he has different domains for the products. But it's like, you know, it's sort of an Aaron Francis thing. Your face is on it, which it already is. Like it's coming, the
Mm-hmm.
emails are coming from you. I mean, there is a small, a thinking, the thinking small part about it to me is that it could get weird. Like this gets big and someday you want to sell it. Like
Right.
it's
Yeah.
weird that like now you're so tied to it that it's basically not sellable probably, like really, or
Right.
at least it's going to hurt its value because like you're not going with it presumably, and now they own aaronfrancis.com and what use is that
Right. I'm
to
not handing
some
over sending
right.
ability from my domain. Like, that's just not going
Yeah,
to
so
happen.
that part gets weird. So but without that you're obviously hurting the products a lot presumably, which is going to be true no matter what, but it's even more so if it's like very tied to you and your personal domain.
Right.
So yeah, that part's not great. I think the middle database school is like an interesting middle ground. Obviously, that's a
Mm-hmm.
little more limiting of if you do a high performance Laravel course, like did that go in database school? I guess that's just its own
Nah.
thing, right? So, like,
We have
I
brands
don't know.
on brands on brands. I'm fine with
Just
that.
a lot of
I
a
just
lot
want a
of
bunch of
brands.
stuff. Yeah, maybe I'm just a
Yeah,
hoarder.
you just love a good domain that you
Yeah,
can't
we
fault you
should get
for.
Wes on here. We should invite Wes to
That
come
would be fun.
in and
Yeah,
tell
we
us
actually
all
talked
the
to him about that.
answers.
We had him on for a stupid reason. We were talking about having him come on for a stupid reason. We should have him
Was
come
it
on for a real
socks?
reation. Yeah, it was like, let's talk about Hey Wes, let's come on and talk about socks. We could do
Did he
that for an
did he
hour.
say yes?
Well, so I
I
think he
forget.
did or something, but then like he didn't write me back at another point, and then I just saw on Twitter that he
Conversation has
just
moved
popped the
on.
kid. No, he
Oh
popped the
yeah,
kid
that's
out.
right. That's right. That's
So
right.
then I was like, oh, I'm not going to harass him about like coming on and talk about socks when he's got like a 3-day-old. So I just kind of let it be. But
We should
but
have him
at
come
some
on and
point
talk about
here,
this.
yeah, this would be a good thing to have him come on.
This is more of a carrot than socks. Although he may want
Yeah,
to talk about socks, which I
well, I
of
think
course
we
would be
could do
open
that.
to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do that as a fun little aside, but I don't know if we need an hour on socks. So we could
No, probably
just
not.
fold it in.
Yeah.
So okay. So
All right.
how'd the launch go?
Emails, we'll figure that out. How'd
Emails
the
are
launch go?
out. Tell me, are you happy? Are you high level happy, medium level happy, low level happy, pit of despair?
With the launch or just in life in general?
Well, let's go with the money from the launch. How about money from the launch?
That
Let's be
does
specific.
constrain it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to reveal actual numbers here.
Oh, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Whoa.
All right.
So look alive.
So we
people.
got hold on. So we got a little.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
haven't revealed this, and I don't think you're going to reveal this. And I don't think you should reveal this. That you have some sponsor money from day one. You got some sponsor money. There's a little baseline of money, right? Not like
which I will not reveal because that is only partially my business. That is partially Tersa's business, and I don't want to talk.
So it's a nice amount of money. It's not like you're not going to work for a year because this amount of money, but it's a nice little seed money to like get you going, get the project done, branding for the company. Okay, great.
Yep.
So it got the baseline money.
Food on the family while we were doing this course, and that was extremely helpful. It was necessary.
Right, a nice little stress buffer from after the layoff in between, buy you that time to do this. Okay.
Yep.
So now,
all right,
you launch, and there's money involved. People are pulling out their credit cards. They're paying you guys. Give us the numbers, I guess.
Do you remember what I said? What my target was? Because I certainly don't. I think I said on the podcast last time.
What? I think you were trying to get to 100,000.
Yeah.
In the nearest term.
Right. In the in like the first 2 months, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So do you? I mean, this could make me look really good or really bad. Do you want to take a guess? If you come in super high, remember I'm going to look like an idiot. So give me the homie guess.
$2 million.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. I'm gonna go with 72,000.
Wow, that is a pretty good guess. Are you ready for the big reveal?
Yeah, what is it?
$79,244.
Very nice. Very nice.
Not so bad.
That's a good what are we at? Day 4 or something like that.
Day
here?
4,
so
so over one weekday plus a weekend, $79,000.
I like it.
Thoughts on that? Let's spin that out a little bit.
Yes,
that's a lot of money. We'll just start there.
A nice chunk of change.
That's a lot of money. When you look at all that money and you divide it by 2 for me and Steve, right?
And then there's this slot machine that I played on occasion, and when you hit some money, it goes, "That's a lot of money," and so you just said that's a lot of money. I can't help but laugh there. That's a lot of money.
Okay, we gotta find that clip.
That's a lot of money.
All right, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You divide it by 2, and that gets to be less money, right? Because Steve and I both exist.
I think it's half the money.
I can't verify that. I don't do math live, but I think that sounds right to me. So it becomes, let's say, half. So still a lot of money. And then you say, all right, well, that took, we'll say, maybe 3 months to do. And the money per month just gets to be a lot smaller. So it is a lot of money. And I'm extremely grateful that it worked, because I think this shows us the model can work. So that's the big takeaways is, okay, we can do this. This is going to work. This is not a life-changing retire amount of money, obviously. This is, we need to do several more of these to like make as much as we were making. And of course, my goal is to double what we were making at, the old company. So we'll get there. So feelings are, I am extremely happy. I think with the launch and the money, I'm extremely happy. In life, there's a lot of pressure, but with the launch, I'm extremely happy. It went great. I'm very, very optimistic about the future of this company, and I think it is going to work. So what do we do from here? We got to turn it into a business, right? So we had a fun big launch, and we did a thing, and it worked. And now we've got to like, one, we've got to shore up some of our existing assets, and then 2, we've got to turn these assets into evergreen producing assets.
Got it. I feel like it's absolutely critical.
We cannot live launch to launch. I've already committed to my wife that the next one will be very different. Not going to be this stressful.
Boy. Yeah.
No, don't worry. I fully committed. I said it's 100% going to be different. Left myself no
Sure.
wiggle room. So
No
that was
wiggle
smart.
room.
Very, very smart, Aaron.
Very good man.
Yeah. So here's the going forward plan, and then I'll let you rebut. Going forward plan is to shore up the there are several videos I need to finish, and so that's good, right? Because that will be an excuse to email, an excuse for people to buy and talk about the course some more. So the early access thing worked out pretty well because one, I needed to stop, and two, now we have a reason to email people, so that works out great.
Yeah.
So that will keep going, and then we need to figure out, and this is an exciting thing. This is not a despairing thing. We need to figure out the flywheel. So we're gonna we're gonna do content, and we're gonna pay for ads. Like, this has been discussed. People have done things before where you pay for advertising and you make money on the back end. Like, bootstrappers have not yet discovered this reality, but I think we're gonna try it. So we'll do some of that, whether on Twitter or honestly Reddit. We're gonna try that as well. We'll see.
That's interesting. I like that.
We'll have some fun fodder for the show there. So shore up that asset, and then I think in the near term, we're going to turn a lot of attention to screencasting.com, and Steve and I are going to redo that together because, that was just an Aaron Francis joint. But we're going to redo it together and expand the offering there and kind of bring that into the fold more fully. And then hopefully we can start pushing those assets forward and hopefully start getting a little bit of a flywheel going with those. And that will lay the base of TryHard Studios income upon which we can build new launches that fall off, but then add a little layer that grow over time, new launches. And hopefully by the end, our cohort graph is up and to the right. So that's it. What do you got?
I like it. It's just super critical. I mean, I feel like everybody lets the courses fall off. They launch the course, and then that's it. They move on with their lives. Seems critical to not do that. I don't know the best way to do it. That might be a West Boss type question. He's kind of mastered this, right? I don't know.
Get him on here. Yeah,
we gotta get him on. But yeah, how do you relaunch every quarter? Do you is it just more of still doing launches and just relaunching, or is there some way to make it more? Just create some ongoing flywheel type effect. I like the idea of advertising, especially Reddit, which I think will be a little more set and forget. The Google, it's tricky.
Sounds tricky. Feels tricky.
It's a little tricky. It's super optimized on there and stuff. But there's a lot of people going after things. I think if you SQLite course or something, you might be able to really dial it in and try a couple right on the nose ones.
There cannot be that many people advertising for that.
You would think not, but I don't know. You have these big platforms like Lynda or whatever, these big course platforms just have everything. So they might just be throwing money at everything. That's what we face a lot in our world is they're just throwing money at everything. It doesn't matter. I wonder about so do you ever see that tweet from the guy who does Jenny AI? We might have talked about it a little bit a while ago.
Keep going and we'll see.
I'll post it up, but it's basically how they've built their kind of flywheel with social media video, and their kind of angle to it is not to pay for the ads, which I would think would not be good for you guys probably either too much, because just to think I don't know, I think it'd probably get kind of expensive, but if you guys are good at video, so if you just basically what they do is they make intriguing videos and the short form videos, because the thing with the short form video Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff is that it's actually quite decoupled from your account. So nowadays it's not that you have a account with millions of followers. It's hey, if you make something interesting and it gets that initial surge, we're just going to send it to millions of people, and that's great, right? So that's kind of their whole thing is they make fun, quick, short videos and they do a lot of them, and one or two take off every once in a while, and that's what been the driver. So since you guys are good at video, I don't think your SQLite video is going to get sent to 2 million people, but you don't need to get sent to 2 million people. If it gets sent to 100,000 devs, right, and 5% of them convert, then that's great. So I don't know how you make it fun. I don't know how you make it so that people are this is awesome, and like it, whatever. That's your guys' job. But I don't know, something like that could be interesting, where you do some content oriented content for specifically marketing in these different sorts of channels. Maybe might be another option.
This is interesting. Here's a thought. Make I don't think I've cracked short form yet, and I don't super love it. But I will yes and your idea and say yes, and here's an idea. We could do long form, whatever, 5-10 minutes long, long form SQLite videos like I've been doing, like I do, like I'm good at. And then we can pay that also like teaches you something, but also is like, hey, if you want to learn more, there's a course, go watch the course. And then we can promote that on YouTube. So like you can boost your own videos and
okay, you can pay to boost.
You can pay to get views. And maybe that's a good way to advertise somewhat cheaply. That's interesting. Actually, we already have some SQLite videos out, so maybe we should just try that.
Just boost those, Add on the edit them to have your course stuff in it somewhere, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say the thing about the advertising is it does always add up very quickly. So it's like, hey, it's like even not these Facebook and platforms that are ostensibly cheap. It's like, oh, it's 1 cent a view or whatever. Like it's not a big deal, but they don't usually convert super great. So you could go through $20,000-$30,000 super quick. And in your
that's
market,
a lot of money.
it's easier to sell, which is good because the one-off purchase is usually easier to sell. But on the flip side, there's no recurring part, which is bad. So it's like your cost of acquisition needs to be lower than the revenue. So, but I mean, people get good at this and they just play that game. I don't know if you guys want to get good at it, or maybe again, there's third parties that do this. It's always felt like the math is hard on that. But...
I want to be good at it. I don't want to get good at it.
Right.
Is there a way to do that? Yeah.
So if you play that game, I've known a few people in software who just got really good at it. It did take a long time, but they're like, hey, their margin is tight usually with advertising, but it's we make 9% or whatever. But it's like, hey, if you can just pile money in and you can make 9%, then
get credit card points on the back end and free money.
You get the credit card points.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as nice as when you get the 90% profit margin, but whatever. If you're just, but it's also often reaching a market you'll just never reach a different way. So if you can make the economics work of you're making 5 or 10%, it doesn't really matter because it's like a bonus 5 or 10%.
And there's something that's even more valuable than money, and that is love. Truly, love. That is having those people on your email list at that point, right? Sure. So if you can get them in the door and you make a little bit of money off of them, that's awesome. But then you can continue to email them with new products and extensions and that sort of thing.
That's your recurring revenue on them,
right?
Is what else you can sell them down the line. So yeah, I mean, I think a combo. I definitely like the Reddit one. I think that's whatever the SQLite thing is. I mean, there's also what I don't know how you would do this. This would be more it's like advertising, but it'd be more like maybe a partnership or advertising with like what Caleb does with Livewire, right? Where obviously he fully controls the whole thing, but it's on the docs, he's selling the screencasts.
Yeah.
Are there SQLite sites that get any kind of real traffic other than, I mean, the docs would be great. I doubt the docs are going to put a banner up for your course.
I can tell you it's 0% chance
I've seen those docs and they don't seem like they're going to be adding the banner there. No. So that's unfortunate. If the docs were an option, that would be cool. But yeah, is there other, I don't know, maybe there's other resource sites of some sort that you could get a banner on or somehow partner with or whatever. So there are some other things like that too, potentially.
I also want to do affiliates. We're on Lemon Squeezy partially for that reason. I don't super care about taxes. In fact, if I could turn off tax compliance on Lemon Squeezy, I would. But it makes everything else so much easier, including affiliates, because they automatically handle the splits and the payouts and the tracking and all of that. So I do want to, reach out to Kent C. Dodds, whom you continue to not know somehow, but I want to reach out to Kent C. Dodds and Wes and these people that are hey, we've got email lists of maybe React developers or otherwise front-end developers, and we're not competitive. We're not going to do a database course. And hopefully I can, but see, that's a really good idea. With people, but with people like Wes, the money's not going to move the needle for him. I have to imagine. If he makes on a good day, $10,000 off of selling my course. Like, does that make him happy? I don't know. Should have him on.
I mean, everybody likes $10,000.
Everybody likes $10,000. Everybody likes
just
it.
something
That's
nice
a good point.
about it's one of the best feelings in poker is like when you cash out your chips. If you've ever been lucky enough to cash out for over $10,000 and they just give you a stack wrapped of $10,000.
That's awesome.
It's a nice feeling. Just a wrapped stack of 10. Glorious.
Maybe that's that's how I sell him. I'm like, hey Wes, you want to get a wrap stack? And he's gonna be like, I don't know what a wrap stack is. Oh shoot. Ian made me believe this was more understood. I thought this was a common thing.
If they're poker players, I'll understand. The other thing you could do with those guys is you could take a different, like, there's like the affiliate angle, which they would presumably want if they were willing to do it at all. But you could also limit the downside for them and be like, hey, I'll just pay you 10 grand. Like, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. And then if we sell less than 10 grand worth, I'm out. And but if we send more, then you're not getting any of that. But like, this is just like here's $10,000. Don't even worry about it. You're going to send this email with pitch or whatever you decide to do, or we're going to cross it to a video or whatever. So you could sponsor. I don't know if they already have sponsor programs for their videos and things. They might already have something set up where you can sponsor stuff.
That's true. Maybe it'll just buy a slot in their email list or something.
Yeah, or on their videos, or if they do YouTube or whatever. So there might be some other options, but on the flip side, $80,000 is not that much money. Like, I know we were saying it is a lot of money, but it's also not a lot of money. If you start paying people $10,000 to do stuff, all of a sudden
you should only do that 8 times, and then it's game over.
That's right. That's not a lot. So
that's not a lot.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
We're only 4 days in. It'll be curious to see how it goes and like how it plays out over the coming even week or two, and just see like, do any sales hold, or does it kind of follow the more traditional, really peters out kind of, and go from there.
Yeah, I am confident that I think we can hit 100,000 in 1 month total.
Yeah, that seems doable.
So I think that's doable. And then when we do, I think I'm gonna have to make a video for the Try Hard YouTube channel that's like how I made $100,000 on a course launch. I think I have to.
People love that. You have
to.
People love that stuff.
Don't I?
It's catnip. You got to make it.
It is. Everybody's gonna click on that.
If you share the numbers, you have to maximize your sharing.
That's what I'm saying. So I talked to Steve this weekend, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna record on Monday morning. Are we cool sharing the numbers?" And we decided, yes, it's good. Like, it's good marketing up to a point. And so at a point, we will stop. Like, this is marketing. So at a point, we will stop. But the real driving factor was this YouTube video. So we decided, yes, we're gonna make a behind the scenes of $100,000 launch YouTube video. And so we have to share the numbers. So why not share them? Yeah. Isn't that good? And so there's another angle we could do for that YouTube video. Once it hits 100,000, this will be my 3rd course that's done $100,000.
Oh,
which is pretty good. I mean, it's taken. I'm not fat and happy, but I am a little bit fat, so I'm working on that. But this will be my 3rd one, so that's pretty good. One of them, took like 6 years to get there, so it's not really a $100,000 launch, but still it's better than a poke in the eye, and that would make a good YouTube video, I think.
Now you got to build the course about how to make courses.
See, that's where I get like moral quandaries, because my attempt at the course on how to make courses is screencasting, and the angle there is I will teach you to be technically proficient, because what I don't ever want to do is be the guy that's like, hey, if you just buy this thing for $997, you'll get super rich. Because I just know it's not true. It's just not true.
That's one of the other businesses I wish I've had. Like, that's a great business. Like,
the
hey,
guru
we're going to make you prettier. We're going to make you healthier. We're going to make you smarter. We're going to teach you how to flip this real estate.
Yep.
It's all good stuff.
I know. It just feels like a slippery slope. I don't want to go making these promises to people, because I know that it's not totally possible. So
I know.
Yeah.
These are all just dreams I have. It's like how I would love to be a spammer, and I could do better at spamming than other people, but
you could,
I don't actually do it, but I feel like I could do a good job at it. But
See,
Maybe
spammer, I
someday.
understand. Executive producer of a movie, I still am a little lost on. But spammer, I can wrap my head around spamming. Spamming is easy.
Jeez.
That'd be
All right. So
so
what
easy.
else? What else you got on the course? So we're gonna see a 100K launch video
Yep.
thingy. That's gonna be fun. Do you have some stuff planned out then for ongoing to keep it going? Like just in terms of your regular content stuff, you're gonna do some more videos. I guess you have this kind of the additional segments that'll be the obvious next
I've
thing.
got the additional modules for the course, which will be good content for YouTube as well, because these next modules are like full text search and JSON, and maybe do some vector stuff, and like that's, you know, some of these videos are like super in the weeds and would not do well on YouTube, but these full text search I feel like would be interesting.
Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'm gonna take, you know, I'm taking a little bit of a break. It's like kind of a light week. Steve's out for 4th of July, and I'm just like cleaning up stuff. So take a little bit of a light week and then finish the modules, pump out some YouTube. I got to pump out some Laravel content on YouTube as well. That's kind of fallen off during the crunch time. And then, yeah, I think one thing I'm super looking forward to is just having a little bit more time to like scheme again, because as much as I love creating database courses, that's not like what I want to do with my whole life. And so there are some things that I think Steve and I are going to work on that are a little bit outside the realm of normal, which is not that surprising for me, to be honest. Up to and maybe including digging a swimming pool in my backyard, which we can talk about later.
Man, we need to do
but
that.
like, you know, I kind of want to scheme a little bit. And I was thinking this weekend about like some of the schemes and like, what's my strategic answer for why I would want to do some of these things? And as much as I like tried to convince myself, my strategic answer just kept coming back to, I want to do it. And it was like, is that enough? That might be enough. That might be enough. It might be enough of a reason to say like, I'm going to do this thing because I want to do this thing. And it's like that guy that's, you know, that meme where he's like an energy field and he's levitating. It's like, that's my reason. I wanted to do it. And so that's kind of where I'm feeling right now, but we'll see.
Now, at one point you had another course stacked up behind this one. Is there a little buffer between, or do you have another course you actually have to start?
Oh yeah, there's another one we have to start. But we do have a little bit of time. Today's July 1, and I think we're not launching. It's Postgres.
July 30th.
Yeah, July 30th. So I have at least 3 or 4 minutes to rest. No, I don't think we're launching that until maybe mid-September or early October, something like that. I don't remember.
So you got some scheming time.
I have some scheming time. I have some dreaming time. I have some time to like just do random crap. Like I just want to I want to stream a lot more. I want to build a little internal tool for me to like keep track of my life, and that feels like a fun thing to stream. And that's one of those that's like, why are you going to do that? Because I want to do it. I just want to do it. And the part of this business is like keeping me engaged and energized and motivated, and some things I just have to do because I want to do it. So
I will say, and this is like do as I say, not as I do, 1000%. But there are people out there who are capable of this, and they have a huge advantage, which is like they need the scheming time, right? But their scheming time is, I'm going to scheme on marketing for the thing I just built.
Sure,
like, and I'm going to come up with, I'm going to use that scheming energy to market the thing I built, or to whatever, do something around the thing I already have that's profitable. And this is, I'm not good at any of this, so I'm not judging here, but I do think that is a superpower that people have that I find fascinating. Of like, my downtime is just scheming in a different angle on my main thing, and so that's still like all the energy's going that direction, but I'm being also rejuvenated at the same time, which is fascinating. But yeah, I've never been too good at it myself, but maybe some people out there are.
Maybe.
All right, so you're going to keep us updated on that. I want to do a domain story. Should we switch to the domain story?
Tell me a domain story. I love a domain story.
I actually have a real thing to talk about, but I'm going to talk about domain story first, because while you're sharing numbers, I'm going to share some numbers. So I have this little side business, little scheme of my domains I own that I sell here and there, and one of them is tag.app. Okay,
TAG.app. Okay. Wow,
so
short.
good domain.
Okay.
Short dictionary word, technically appropriate, right? And also now there's all .app has these like premium domains because like whatever, some words are more expensive than others and whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So this one is premium, but it's not ultra premium. Some of them are like $1,000 a year. So to hold it, it's like a little pricey to hold. I think this one's like $200 or something. So whatever, it's not that much to hold. So we had a guy. This is kind of how domains work, behind the scenes. It used to be up for I think even more. I don't know. Some people would hold this domain for they'd want 6 figures, but whatever. I'm not really into that. I'm like, I'm just trying to make a few bucks. It's valuable. It's real estate.
Did you acquire it off the shelf?
I'm not gonna agree. Yeah, I acquired it right when .app was launched, like 4 or 5 years ago, and so I've just been holding it. The guy offered us 3,000. I said no. He offered like 6 or 7 or something. I just said no. Yesterday he came back with 15. I said no. I said no.
You said no. You said no.
I said I'm holding out for 19. It's up for 19. I'm holding out for 19. It's worth 19. It's a single word, 3 characters long, in tech, super applicable to a million businesses.
Okay. All right.
Tag that out.
All right. Okay. So he
If
said
anybody
15,
out there
you
wants
said
to pay
no.
19. I said no. I
And
said
that's
instantly
it?
said no.
That's it? He went away?
I already told him, I was like, I'm not negotiating on this one because it's like 19 is more than fair price. And here's the thing. If you have 15, you have 19, right? Like if you had 3,000 and then you come back for 4 and 5, or maybe you just don't have 19. You can't get to 19. If you have 15, you have 19. Like there's no scenario where you don't have 19 if you have 15. So
I mean,
it really should.
There is, but yeah.
No, not in this scenario. There really isn't.
What business is out there
and they're like, I'm going to start a company on tag.app, and I only have literally $15,000, but I don't have 19. Like that's just not. They may choose not to. They may go with Tag HQ or whatever. Fine, then just go do that. I'm okay with that. So we'll see. That'll be a little update next week. We'll see if we get the sale. I'm feeling pretty optimistic because when they come back, usually
they moved a lot from 3 to 15. They moved a lot.
That's what I'm saying. You're all the way up to 15.
I think you'll get
and it's
it.
worth
19,
it.
That's great.
It's worth it. I should have made it 20 because then I would have 2 stacks of high society.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 stacks, which would be a nice little poker session. But,
what's your best one? Like, what's your best sale? Have you had any big ones?
Yeah, no huge ones. I think the biggest was 30,000.
Okay.
Which I probably sold to a competitor, honestly, because it was support.app.
And that's a great domain for your core business.
I know. But it's also generic. Like you can't really brand it. All these dictionary word ones are a little tricky because like there is like some legal stuff around. Can you really trademark it or not? But anyway, I was going to turn down 3 stacks of high society.
No.
So
of course not.
Zendesk or whoever probably owns support.app out there. Whatever. And nothing's ever been built on it. It's just sitting there. Watch, I'll probably say that. And it's like there's all kinds of stuff on it now. But last I looked, there was nothing there. No, it's just like some generic placeholder thing. Yeah. Just like a loading page that never loads. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's nothing there. I don't know. I think I've done a few other ones like in the high teens, low 20s, something like that.
That's real money.
That's real money. There is like the carrying cost of holding all the other domains that you don't actually sell and things like that. So
I did not know you were a domainer. I
am. So if people don't like them, I'm one of them.
That's right.
You can thank me for being part of the problem. But oh man, I'm trying to get to my list, but I can't. Oh well. Yeah, anyway, I've sold a few in there. I'm not like, see, people who are really into it, like they're out buying. It's like, I don't really buy any. I just like, .app was launched. I was like, this is a good domain for tech stuff. I just bought ones that were available right from the beginning, and I basically just been holding them. So most of them are .apps, other than the ones I bought for personal project of things that I'm never going to actually build. And so then I'll put those up for sale too, if it's like a .com or .io or whatever. So yeah, so that's my little story.
Well, I hope you get your 19. That would be awesome.
I hope so. That would be awesome. That would be a nice little keeps me in business for another year on the domain business. It's like I could pay to hold the other ones. Like it just feeds the beast. All right. So my other news for the week here is that we're hiring a dev.
Yeah, this is
hiring
big
a
news.
dev. Hiring a
Hiring
Laravel
a full-time
dev.
employee.
If you're out there, you want to work at Userscape, working on HelpSpot and Lara jobs and the thing I talked about last week in terms of this AI proxy thing we were discussing, all that stuff, we have a job opening, which is pretty rare. We don't have a lot of job openings. Most everybody stays here
so
a long time.
what's driving the need here? Because you haven't hired full-time in a long time.
Yeah, not in for software developer anyway. So basically last year, Eric Barnes, who runs Laravel News, decided he was going to go pretty much full-time on that. So he still works some hours here, but not full-time hours. And that's coming to an end. He's going to go full-time on Lara jobs in September. And so this past year, it's kind of like, I could have hired somebody at that point, even last year, but I was like, you have all the Section 174 stuff, and I kind of wanted to see how that was going to shake out. So we just kind of went through without a full sort of dev setup. But with Eric dropping off all of his hours here soon, it's like, all right, well, we got to hire a software developer. So that's pretty much it. So we're hiring a software developer. And I don't know, we'll see. It's like kind of interesting. The market's kind of interesting right now. I feel like it's not, a couple of years ago, like it was crazy, right? And like you couldn't even hire developers. So I feel like there's more high quality developers out there. We're also going to broaden the search more than we have in the past, where it's only been US in the past, but now I'm willing to go outside the US, probably not all the way to other side of the planet, but if you can work some East Coast hours,
fully or
overlap. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want anybody to pretend to work East Coast hours, but actually be waking up at midnight or whatever.
That never ever works.
Yeah, so just the overlap of a couple hours, just if we have to hop on a call or whatever.
And half-day Fridays all year?
Half-day Fridays all year. Obviously profitable, been in business forever, no startup-y gimmicks and stock you're never going to get and all that kind of stuff. You know about that stuff.
Let me tell you. Well, I guess legally I can't, but I understand that that is a reality. Yeah, that's interesting.
So, I think there's some interesting things. We've always had this trade-off. We're definitely not at the top of the pay range for sure, but on the flip side, your half-day Fridays, you're working fully remote. That's never going to change. You're kind of in the mix
$5,000 office budget.
You get money for computers and so on. You get time off. You get, you're in the Laravel mix. Like everybody who's been a dev here has talked at lots of Laracons and all those things. So I think there's some advantages there if you're interested in that part of your career growth. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I think I've tried to put it at a specific dollar amount because I've never done that before. So it's like a little experiment. There's probably a little bit of flexibility in there for listeners to the podcast, for example, potentially in the right scenario. But
so the number on the site, can I say it? Can I say it out loud?
Yeah.
It's on the site. The number on the site is 120 grand. I read it all, but I don't remember. Are there benefits for US based employees?
Yeah. So that's also something I was going to try, whatever. There's some different scenarios where people could be contractors or not or whatever. But the US based would have healthcare benefits, 401k, 3% auto
match.
I forget what they called it, but it's not a match. You get 3% of your salary no matter what.
Cool.
And you should also contribute to your 401k, but you'll get 3% of your salary regardless. If you're in the US, that would definitely be, those two are US only. If you're outside the US, then you would be a contractor for sure.
Right.
And you wouldn't have those. But you would probably also have healthcare because you're not in the US. So
you live in some other country that does that for you.
That's nice stuff for you. So
but you don't have freedom, so
you don't have
sucks
freedom.
to be you. So how did you come up with 120? Vibes?
There's always that element of vibes to the salaries. I also think it's I'm willing to have more of a mid-level person, which I think that's a pretty fair salary for given the current market. A more senior person would be great, I think in the US, probably not quite a senior level person, like on the raw numbers, but I do think there are scenarios where the other benefits and the flexibility and things like that make up for that in some people's circumstances. So that's fine. Outside the US, I think it's a very solid number for a senior Laravel
Big time.
developer.
Yeah.
You know, I do run Lara jobs. I don't know if you're aware of that. And so I always keep an eye on, keep an eye on the salaries, and
That's true.
it's pretty
You have a good
remarkable what
source of
people are
data.
offering. Yeah, like I mean, then like we're way above a lot of the jobs at Lara jobs. So I even thought about going less, but I was like, you know, I don't know. I feel like I want to be a solid number. Yeah, you're not like blown away, but you're also it's, you know, there's so many factors. Like where you live, it's a ton of money in some places. It's not a lot if you're in New York City, right? Like, so there's a lot of variability there. But even like DHH, hero of the show, DHH, they just had a programmer job up that starts at like 170 something and like has, you know, more restrictions than we have. Like you can't have a side gig there and different things like that. So there are also things like that. Yeah, Basecamp, you can't have any side gigs.
Wow.
So, you know, we're not like crazy far off of even people's dream job with DHH is like, you know, we have some advantages there. So, and I like to hire people who have side gigs. I think one of the things with working here is like, you kind of need to be pretty entrepreneurial in your nature, because that's part of what we ask of you is that like, you're going to be willing to talk to a customer. Like you can't just be the basement dweller dev who's like, I'm never going to talk to a customer no matter what. Like I'm not doing it. Like, so you have to talk to a customer. You're going to have a lot of responsibility to like make decisions about the products and things, and have at least some ability to have that mindset of like what the customer's thinking, how the customer uses it. So people who've either tried to do their own thing and maybe it didn't work out, or who are interested in doing that in the future, I feel like I've tended to be pretty good fits. And pretty much everybody who's ever been a software developer here has been in that mold. So yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm interested. It's been a while since I hired a software developer, so it'll be cool to kind of go through the process. And it's nice that Dave's here now. Producer Dave is you know, involved heavily in the hiring process for this role, and he's going to be able to do the first pass, so I don't have to be totally disheartened by like the hundreds of just like people who don't follow the very basic directions I put in there. Like, that's going to be nice to have somebody filter those, so I don't feel so bad about society. And yeah, so if you're in the market, give it a look. My little ad.
It was a well-written. It was a well-written post. I liked it. It had all the stuff that like you would have worked on or you will work on, and the pretty compelling. Like, hey, we've been remote for 20 years or whatever it said, and that's never going to change. Because I do think that is a fear of people getting these remote jobs, and then there's a return to office mandate, and it's like, well, like I live in, you know, BFE, and I'm not driving into an office, so I thought that was pretty compelling. And the half day Fridays every week. When I was at the property tax company, I instituted half day Fridays during summer only, or not non-busy season. I guess it wasn't summer; it was non-busy season. So it like started in August and went through like January or something, and people freaking loved it. But all year long,
they do love the half day Friday.
That's the ticket.
We started as summers, but then one year I was like, let's do it. We'll do it all year long, and it's actually like, I mean, it's a pretty massive benefit. Like if you add up the number of days, it's like 20 whatever days off, like built into the year. So yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, it's awesome to be able to leave at noon and like go hang out with your kids or do whatever you'd like to do, and have that just do running around. I mean, like I use it a lot just for like not fun stuff sometimes, but it's still cool because it's like whatever, I can go to the DMV when people aren't there at 2:30 or whatever, and not have that be like I have to go after work or whatever, where it's a nightmare. So yeah, it's really cool. Then I mean, that's the other thing, is like it's like a huge impact job. Like you're gonna be writing code that's in the core of the app that pays everybody. You're gonna be writing we're doing all this AI stuff coming up over the next, I mean, starting heavily pretty soon here, but then over the next year, I think there'll be quite a bit of AI stuff. Well, there will be quite a bit of AI stuff. So yeah, so it's going to be a lot of kind of cutting edge-ish code work in the Laravel space. So yeah, It'll be cool.
That's
but we also
exciting.
deal with on-premise installs, and we also deal with all kinds of
Yeah.
other stuff. But it's a 20-year-old app, so there's a lot of different sort of interesting aspects to it. I think for the right personality. If you want to just be in a Laravel 11 app that's squeaky clean and everything's perfect and brand new, this is not exactly
This
that
ain't
either.
it.
It's like this ain't it. But it's getting there. It's getting closer to that, but we're still a ways away. But that would be part of this role of like continuing to push that forward. So a lot of cool like refactoring things, new dev, working with Matt who does development, working with me as I do development, and so I think it'll be a good gig for the right person out there. Hopefully you're listening. It'd be cool to hire a show listener.
That would be cool.
Slightly different topic. I've emailed 2 people over the weekend, 2 companies over the weekend, and both of them emailed support, and both of them were like, "Hey, friend of the pod, love the pod."
Oh, we made
so
it.
Great.
Yes!
So great when people
I love it.
are like hooked in to the pod.
That's
I get
right.
the premier support.
Love
so
that.
It's really cool. I was enjoying
I just love
that.
being special, Ian. That's all I want. I just want to be special. I love being special.
You are very special.
I am. I was born on Valentine's Day. That's special. I have 2 sets of twins.
Shit.
That's special. That's crazy. I got 2 special things.
Forgot.
That's awesome.
You got a lot of special stuff going on. You are
Love
a very
being
special flower. Born on Valentine's Day. I think I forgot that.
It's crazy.
My anniversary. My real anniversary.
Oh, wow.
First date anniversary, which I consider the real anniversary.
Oh, yeah. Nah. I don't even remember our first date. I think actually our first date's on the calendar, but I don't remember it at all.
Yeah. Being on Valentine's Day helps mine a lot because it like sticks in there,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really forget that. All right. I don't know. Anything else you got here?
I don't think so. There's one more on the list, but we can save that. We can save that for later. That feels like it could spiral, so we should probably save that.
Yeah, we'll save that. It's been on a few weeks. We'll give it one more.
Yeah. No, nothing else. Go buy my course. Go apply for Ian's job. Just give us all the money you have, and that'll be great.
I don't think
I guess for you,
job post, like I don't know.
For you, I guess technically you're giving them the money, so that last part just applies to me.
If anybody out there is very qualified and would like to pay me to work here, I am open to that sort of arrangement. I'm not against that, so
yeah,
I'm flexible. We could work something out with that. But yes, go buy Aaron's course. You need to know SQLite. I've just been using it myself a bit. You got to get in there. It's all the future of a lot of things, not about everything, but a lot of things. Everybody's defaulted to it now. I mean,
that's
Rails
right.
defaulted to it.
Rails and Laravel both defaulted to it.
Yep. So it's a very cool time. And you're right there.
I'm right there. Tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear. All right, man. Have a good week. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Follow us on mostlytechnical.com, mostlytechpod on Twitter, and email into mostlytechnicalpodcast@gmail. And definitely give us the likes, subscribe, all that stuff. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Thanks.
See ya.